just like that Week 1 matchup.
He's really been the Swiss Army knife as he, the last 2 weeks, made the big plays that really felt like propelled Valpo to the win. He had that kickoff after the Vikings went down 21-0 against the 59ers. Not an easy team to beat, especially when you're down by 3 possessions. And then he had a 30-yard rush on a motion counter play that got them within the 1, and then they scored. And the Valpo Vikings went by 2 possessions and never looked back against LaPorte. So look for Julian Stokes to make yet another big play for the Vikings. They're going to start on the 19-yard line after the holding penalty was called on the 29. Now the shotgun, hand off to Berta. It's a counter play. Berta to his left, and Berta gets met by a quarterback looking crashing in. And he really didn't go anywhere. That was just a 1-yard gain for the Vikings. Stokes make yet another big
1 yard. So
the Vikings.
So far, the rushing yardage hasn't really been there as much. He's not picking up as much yardage. So right now, Michigan City doing what they want to do. They are kind of stopping the run. They're not letting him get big chunks. They're actually keeping him, 1 yard, 2 yard gains. He's already got 5 rushes, 6 yards total from my unofficial numbers. I had to take my shoes off to kind of get started on the, the numbers here.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Right back on the left hip of Hosick, and they're handed off. That's Berta again. Berta goes up the gut. He gets about 3 yards there. Whistle's being blown. And so far, so good for Michigan City against the run. And, of course, for the Vikings, they scored their first touchdown on a pass play. Hosick to McKenzie. And it just looked like it was a miscommunication between the cornerback and the safety as McKenzie got wide open. There was no one there to help.
Well, and one thing that I've talked to other coaches about, when you look at Hosick, there's something on film that shows he's got a good arm. He's got a powerful arm.
He's a third baseman and a pitcher. Right. For a Valpo baseball team. So you have to have a good arm. They put Berta in motion. Here comes pressure. Hosick gets rid of it, and it's 4th down. Just immediately. As Hosick gets the ball, he drops back as Buskirk and Adrian Holly got back there, put pressure in his face, and it's a 3 and out for the Vikings.
And if you're Michigan City, you're winning this battle right now. Yeah, you're trailing by 1 on the scoreboard. You can live with it, though, because you are stopping Thomas Berta right now. You're forcing Hosick to make throws. Is he getting them all? That's his first incompletion. And yes, they have the touchdown, but you're stopping one of the. You're trying to make them one-dimensional. That's what they're doing right now.
That's a nice touch.
Valpo's going to punt it away. The ball is at their own 23-yard line. 2-man to return for Michigan City, and it looks like Valpo's going to burn their first timeout of the first half.
Yep, we'll step aside here. You are watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I wasn't sure if we're going to go to break or not.
Sorry, I didn't.
Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrade
to punt it as McKinney and Stringer are back. Wilcox going to boot it away, and that's a high punt, but doesn't get too much distance. And there is another flag on the field, about the same area as the first flag when this drive started for Valpo. Who's this going to be on?
Well, and I'm interested because that ball bounced back, and that ball's currently sitting at the 22-yard line.
Oh, man.
Which, it took an incredible bounce back towards Valpo.
Yeah, I believe they got holding, but who's holding on? That's the question. The Zebras are having a conversation about it. And I believe it's on Michigan City. Ball hasn't been moved yet.
I say ball was sitting on the 22-yard line. If you get Michigan City right here to start it, they're gonna. Looks like they're backing it up pretty good here. Curious to see when they move that ball though, because there is still a ball sitting at the 22-yard line.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it over there.
Yeah, somebody's grabbing it.
I'll tell you what. Last week at Valpo LaPorte, I saw a negative 6-yard punt.
I mean, it's always fun to be at a game and you see something that you've never seen before.
Exactly what me and Jay Simmons had to talk about on the air.
Well, of course, Jay's been around long enough. He's seen just about everything. So if there's something he hasn't seen.
Of course, Valpo scored their first touchdown that way. 7-6 Valpo leading. And it looks like they have a Wildcat formation, but Coach French did not like what he was seeing, and they're going to burn a timeout. We'll take a quick one with them. It's 7-6 Vikings lead the Michigan City Wolves as it's game night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 2 locations.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service.
We are back, and it was a run for Jimmy Harville, correction. And as it was a Wildcat formation, it was G that clapped the hands as Hart was not on the field. So it was a Wildcat formation, like Ricky Williams when he was at Miami with the Dolphins. We got blown out yesterday by the Bills. Put a player in motion off to the left. Hart is in an empty set formation. Now he's moving Marion, his tight end, to his left. He's going to stand there and block. Hart going across the middle. Bad throw! Intercepted by the Vikings! They're going to take it back to the 45-yard line. And was that Jacob Moore? Yes, Jacob Moore, the senior. He had an interception last week. He got it again.
That's his third on the season, according to the stats that we've gotten. Boy, I tell you what, Valpo wasn't looking good on that last offensive drive, and they said, you know what, let's try this again. Let's get going on defense. You opened it up, Andrew, talking about this Viking defense, and this is why they stay in games. This is why, a big reason why this team is going to be very successful down the road.
Hart with his third interception on the year, just overthrew his intended receiver, who seemed to be wide open. It was Harville again. They're going to give it to Berta, and Berta gets slammed down immediately. They had put a blanket on him. They didn't want him to go anywhere.
Yeah, he gets 1 yard. 1 yard, it looks like, for Berta.
Berta had 2 games open up the year. He had 170 yards or more. 170 against Penn, 178 against Andrean. Would have had 100 last week if he got to play majority of the second half. They arrested him, but it's 2nd and 9. Michigan City doing whatever they can to control the line of scrimmage. They're going to give it to Berta again, and there's Adrian Holly. He is a big man, 6'4", 255. You can see why the Jayhawks want him on their football team next season.
Yeah, that looks like a no gain on the play based on the spot. I mean, just coming in, ready to go. Yeah, you can see Michigan City. I mean, they are just loading this box here, ready for Berta to run it.
Adrian Holly came in with 31 total tackles. That's over 10 tackles a game for an edge rusher. And that's his 8th tackle for a loss. He's racked up 3 sacks this year.
And this is the start of week 4. Like, we're still in the first quarter of week 4.
I'm not sure what the record is for most in a season. I'm sure Adrian Holly will find his way into the record book. They're going to pass. Hosick on a deep third down play. He's going to let it go for Stokes, but it's well over his head. And look who it is again, Mike. Adrian Holly in the backfield causing chaos.
Well, you said, I mean, there's a reason the Jayhawks want him. And, he's kind of gotten this load here for Michigan City. And, he's proven out there why this team can make some noise, not only in the DAC, but maybe in that Class 5A. This team, don't count this team out at any point in a season.
Well, I was really impressed, too, is that he got that initial pressure going up against Caleb Sharp.
Yeah.
One of the best left tackles you're going to find in this part of the state, and Adrian Holly went right past him. Caleb Sharp, an all-conference, all-state, and made it all to the 5A preseason team. And here comes yet another punt, high spiraling punt that's landing at around the 20. It's got a good Vikings roll towards the end zone, and that's to the 5-yard line. That's for the brand. For the Vikings, a perfect punt, and the Wolves, who just turn it over, going to have to try and go 95 yards if they want to try and take the lead. 2:47 to go here in the first quarter.
It's so impressive. We talk about Valpo all the time, and I don't care what sport you're talking about. It's those little things that just they're so fundamentally sound. What a great kick gets you inside right at the 5-yard line. Michigan City had the ball here at the 23-yard line, or it was supposed to be the 23, and then went to the 48. Still good field position, and now they're backed up all the way to the 5. This is going to be tough, but don't count out the Wolves just yet.
Well, last week they had Hart do a pump fake and then go to Kyron Hart, the wide receiver. This time it's going to be a handoff through the left side. Not much really there. Maybe a couple as they handed it off to Demarion Evans, the junior, who had 8 carries for 24 yards last week. And he got 3 yards, so 2nd and 7. They still have a long way to go. And there's a reason why, back to that point, Mike, why the Valpo Vikings won the state championship just a few years ago. Plays like that, where it might not be beautiful to look at in the box score, but it really means a lot during the game itself.
Yeah, there's no question about that. This team, when you have good coaches, and Coach Marshall certainly has been around a long time, playing college ball as well as Hart, looking out to his right.
He rolled out to his right. He threw it. It was a little high. Tried to get to Michael Laurent, and it's going to be 3rd down. And you got to think that this is a huge 3rd down conversion for Michigan City. We haven't seen the leg of their punter just yet. But how far is he able to boot it away from his own end zone?
Yeah, really trying to just maybe try to get someone set up at that 15-yard line, trying to just pick up that 1st down just to give him a little bit of breathing room. Understandable to run a couple of plays here, so kind of interesting that you would, maybe throw on that 2nd down, maybe try to get a few more yards and then try to pick up that 3rd down with a little bit more room as him out. We'll keep it here. For piping hot pizza delivered right to your door, call Squeegee's Pizza in Griffith. Squeegee's is located at 106 South Broad Street in Griffith. Give them a call at 219-924-6000. Pickup or delivery. It's Squeegee's Pizza of Griffith, the best on Broad.
On the IBEW Local 697 electrifying plays from this week's football action. Visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, on Instagram. The electrifying plays presented by IBEW Local 697. Hart out there, out of the gun. They're going to air out the football. He's got pressure. Hart steps up. He's got good legs, but he's not going to be able to go anywhere as he gets corralled after maybe just a couple of yards. And was that Cameron Waldron making the play?
It certainly looked like it, yeah. That's one of the guys, when I talked to Coach Marshall, he said there's so many guys on this defense, but one that has been up there and doing a lot of good stuff is Cam Waldron.
Waldron, 6'5", 225. He has an offer to Valpo University. Could be a beacon, trading in that green for the brown and yellow, or to Avila University. He has a couple of options, and I would say with that size, that's going to help him out. Now, this is the first time Michigan City is going to punt away. The clock is running at 1:15, and this is going to be a punt attempt. It's a good punt, That's still going to give the Vikings good field position. It's Stokes that has the ball, though. Stokes to his left, and the Michigan City Wolves have to be breathing a sigh of relief. That's not a guy you want to have in the football in open field, especially on their side of the 50.
Well, I feel like on both the kickoff returns and the punts so far, it's all gone to Julian Stokes, and maybe they didn't watch maybe these guys didn't watch the film of the Andrean game. Like, oh my. No, I know Coach Fringe did. He said he definitely watched that film. But maybe there's just something they feel they can, take to him, and they're not. They should always be worried, but Coach Marshall said he is the most, electric guy out there.
Hosick back out there. Got Berta to his left. And Beagley going to go out in front, get a block. And Berta tries to find a hole, but every time he goes to hit a hole, there's a bunch of silver helmets and navy blue jerseys there to bring him down before he can really get some momentum started, as he got maybe 3 yards on that play, 2nd and 7.
Well, so I'm wondering if there's a way to start kind of moving him more out into the perimeters, kind of maybe getting more towards the edges, and then maybe trying to make a cutback, because he kind of seems to be staying within like the tackle box. It kind of feels like. So maybe that's just a comfort zone, maybe trying to move out in space a little bit more.
Yeah, 4 receivers really stretching out the defense, and there goes Berta again. Here comes one of the linebackers crashing down to meet Berta, who was able to move it up to around the 26-yard line, about a 4-yard gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Valpo Vikings, and it looks like this could be the end of the first quarter. And what a fun start it was. But lately we've seen some really good defense for both sides, and that is indeed going to be the end of the first quarter. The Valpo Vikings lead 7-6 after both teams land some haymakers to open it up. We will take a quick break and come back for
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
The Vikings have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're on the hip of Hosick. Hosick puts Stokes in motion to the right side, the wide side of the field. Run up the middle, and Berta breaks an arm tackle. Berta's got a seam, and he's going to get brought down around the 5-yard line. And there it is, Thomas Berta finally breaking off a long run.
Well, Thomas Berta says, I don't need to get to the edges. I just need to get that one hole to be, I need my offensive line to just give me that space that I need, and he certainly got it. He broke through for the biggest chunk play of the night, 23 yards, I believe.
Berta, he only gets stronger as the game goes on. Not too many running backs have that ability, but Berta is one of them. Berta got to hit hard as he tried to find his way to the end zone, but he is just short as Michael Crawford, the junior, who's going to Eastern Michigan tomorrow for their game against Jacksonville State for an official visit, making a nice tackle. Valpo on the run. They're going out of the pistol. Guess who? Thomas Berta. And there goes Crawford again. Crawford denying him. Oh my goodness, body slamming Thomas Berta. That was a physical play. And that's how they do it here in the Duke Athletic Conference.
He said, you are not smelling that end zone right now. I'm going to back you up a yard even and rib you down.
It's taking the Suplex City. I'm not sure if you're a fan of WWE, but
it was back in the day. I can't say I still watch, but
well, that was a WWE move by Michael Crawford, the senior who's racked up over 30 tackles. He had 15 last week. They're going to go out of the gun this time. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Thomas Berta there. Stokes in motion. It might be the same play that broke it for 20 yards, and it is. It's a handoff, and the Michigan City Wolves are there again. A den of Wolves pushing back Thomas Berta, and it's 4th down.
I'm thinking here, this is going to be a little Four Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory here. Although it's looking, they're making some changes, so they might be bringing out. Are they bringing out the field goal? Nope. I think they're still keeping the offense out there.
Might be a mass substitution. No, it does look like a field goal.
It does look like a field goal. Okay.
Isaiah Gibson was there for the tackle.
It's going to be Fonder out for the kick. 6 of 6 from field goals this year.
This is a chip shot field goal on the left hash. Vikings trying to extend their lead. They're up by 1 point at the moment after Michigan City couldn't get the extra point. Flag flying in, and does someone have too many men on the field? It came from the end zone. It's currently sitting on the L in Wolves, and I believe it's on Valpo. I see one of the Wolves clapping their hands, and it is. So Valpo's going to get backed up.
So the kick will be no good. They'll back it up to so it's a 5-yard penalty. They'll back it up to the 7.
Maybe a little bit harder on Fodner. 9:39 to go. The Michigan City Wolves standing tall on the goal line, denying Thomas Berta 3 times in a row.
So this is looking to be a 25-yard field goal.
They're ready to go. The snap, the hold, the kick, it is up, and it is through. And on 3 more points for the Vikings, both teams return to their sidelines. And the Valpo Vikings playing the field position game that pays off for 3 points. They're up by 4. And we'll take a quick break as you're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of Notre Dame Athletics, wants to reward you for everyday banking. CU1's high-yield checking offers the opportunity to earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No monthly fees and no minimum or...
Valpo about to kick it off. Back to the Michigan City Wolves. We're at Ames Field. Andrew Mile with Michael Brandner. The Vikings enjoying a 4-point lead. They scored a touchdown on the 38-yard hookup to Isaiah McKenzie. And then the Michigan City Wolves responded pretty quickly on just the second play of their first drive, as it was Zaire McKinney taking it to the crib. The play that was longer than 50 yards. This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs presented by Quintel Incorporated as they kick it to number 0 of the Wolves. That is Jameen Harville, and he gets it to around midfield, the 50-yard line. 9:19 to go in the first half. 10-6 Valpo. And Mike, what have you seen from the Michigan City Wolves that they need to get that offense going again as they really stalled out in these last couple?
Well, I mean, they were trying to build that run game. It wasn't working out 100%. So got to keep the pressure on. Maybe try to couple quick disguises or just kind of up the tempo a little bit. Give a chance for Valpo to get tired. Try to get those plays in maybe just a little bit quicker. But then I like the arm. I think Hart's got a good arm, and I think that'd be a beneficial thing to try to figure out as long as they can get the coverages right.
Jacob Moore got an interception from Trin Hart earlier. And they're going to hand it off to G. Really felt like he said his name a whole lot as he spins out of danger. And he's going to get about 4 or 5 yards. And And the Michigan City Wolves trying to establish that run game again with G, who had over 112 yards last week. A couple of carries that started off, but really haven't said his name a whole lot. He had 2 50-yard runs last week, one a 54-yard touchdown. The second put the Wolves in good field position that would lead to another score in their 20-0 shellacking of the Chesterton Trojans.
Right, so like this is what I'm saying. So obviously they're trying to, just run the play, get the right play here. It's second down. But the quicker you can move things a little bit, then you start getting Valpo tired, and that's when you can take advantage of mistakes.
Fake to G, Hart rolling out, and he throws it over the head of Marion, his tight end. That's one of their favorite plays. As a play action to the left, let Marion block a little bit of the delayed flat route, and right there, Hart, a little bit of pressure, Aramel to throw, and it'll be 3rd and 6 for Michigan City.
So it's still manageable, but, still maybe trying to establish that run game would be important for Michigan City, because then if they can establish the run game and get a few yards, for this run game, then that opens up the door for Hart late in the game, you're hoping.
Tran Hart with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. G is on his right, hit there in the shotgun. Receiver in motion, fake to him, throw to the left, and once again another bad throw by Tran Hart. He's usually one of the more reliable arms in the DAC, at a high completion rate of 62% coming into the game, but missed 2 open receivers on this drive.
The Valpo defense is just showing some pressures and some coverages that he's, just kind of not used to, and then just missing that connection there and kind of maybe speeding him up a little bit, it feels like, because that's he has the one pass for that touchdown at 59 yards, and since then an INT and then 3 incompletions, according to my unofficial stats.
Gotta throw in the unofficial.
Because you do not want to trust these numbers.
Michigan City gonna punt it away for the second drive in a row. 2 returners back for Valpo. Here comes the boot. End over end punt, and it goes out of bounds. Let's see where they're gonna mark the ball here.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, as you mentioned, kind of just sputtered here a little bit offensively, but we talked about when it's your first drive as a team, usually you kind of have that choreographed out a little bit, and then you have to figure out the changes from there. And Coach French, obviously, one thing I talked to him about yesterday when I got to talk to him is he doesn't have a losing season as a head coach.
None.
Which is impressive, because usually when you take over a program, usually it takes about a year for it to finally kick in and jumpstart. I mean, just ask some of the best that we've seen in region football over at Portage for one, and it takes, that first season to kind of click things in, and now you're in your second season here, but I think Coach French will be able to make those halftime adjustments, and we'll see that here starting in the second half and get a little bit more activity.
Hosick dropped back, and he broke a tackle. He breaks another tackle, still on his feet, and the Wolves finally drag him down to the carpet, but Hosick almost got sacked and somehow turned it into a good gain as he gets brought down at his own 25-yard line.
And that just makes him one of the more painful guys to cover, because he has the arm talent, he can hand off, but he can also take off with some wheels as well.
He had 96 rush yards in their loss against Penn to open up that season, a high-scoring affair where Valpo fell just short, 49-42. When this game started, you thought you were seeing the same sort of score, but the defense really stepping up as a screen pass to McKenzie, who gets tackled by the turf monster, it looked like.
Yeah, he just kind of got outstretched a little bit. It was a little bit behind him, so he had to really stretch out and just couldn't get his footing back there. But still, what an impressive catch by McKenzie, using every bit of that frame for him, that 5'6" frame, to be able to get that one.
It really didn't say his name a whole lot last week in the Vikings win against LaPorte, but they've been feeding him the ball today. He has the 1 touchdown for the Vikings, a long one on their first drive of the game. It's 3rd and short. Let's see if they go to Berta here. No. Long screen pass, and they're going to get a first down. And look who it is once again, Austin McKenzie.
Yeah, not too shabby, having himself quite a bit of fun out there right now. McKenzie's definitely having the impressive game.
That first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists. So Valpo, that's one thing that Coach French mentioned too. They like to send the ball for a long time. They know how good their defense is. So if they can keep their offense out there and milk that clock, that's helping them out. Hosick's got a clean pocket, delivering the throw to McKenzie, and McKenzie's going to have a big play as they flip fields. Austin McKenzie having himself a night.
Holy cow. Again, using every bit of that 5'6" frame. And this is exactly, Coach Marshall must have been insinuating a little something when I talked to him yesterday when he said, hey, this is one of the guys that has really done well with this team. There's a lot of guys he wanted to spotlight, but this is one that he definitely said, hey, make sure we give a little bit of attention, and here's why.
Usually hear a coach say that, and that play makes 3 catches, but McKenzie, he's made a ton. Got the first down and got himself another 4 seasons first down, and a big chunk play that flips sides for Valpo, and here comes some dirty laundry. And it's a false start on Valpo. They're going to get pushed back, and that's huge for Michigan City because it seems like Valpo has found where they want to attack the weakness of the Wolves. Right now it looks like it's been the slot. Right. That's where McKenzie's been lined up the whole night.
Yeah, he's found that spot, that soft spot in the secondary for Michigan City because they're worried about stopping the run. So when you are stopping that run, and they've been doing a very effective job at it, but that's where it makes, with Valpo being, very much an RPO team, yes, they have that opportunity to stop the run and then also make the pass as well. Stokes in motion.
And it's a bad throw by Hosick trying to get it to Stokes. Yeah, I think for Coach French, who relied on his defense to get the win last week, he's got to be getting a little frustrated on how open McKenzie has been for some of those plays. It feels like his defenders haven't really been communicating a whole lot, and that's why McKenzie's been breaking open.
Well, and that's one of the things you have to talk about during practice as well. Like, hey, if we are able to stop the run effectively, eventually we have to be able to stop the pass game as well, because that's just, maybe, not considered as good, but it's still a very talented part.
Hosick over the middle, the Stokes, and Stokes had it in his hands, and it popped out. Nice throw by Hosick, rolling to his right. He was trying to find McKenzie. It looked like he was on that side of the field, but he was blanketed, getting some help there from the safety, and there was a bit of a post pattern there from Stokes, and it was a good throw, just couldn't bring it in with the defender there blanketed all over him.
Yeah, Carl Tucker in there on that one, coming in today with 24 total tackles on the year.
That was one thing that was eye-popping about the safeties, Crawford and Tucker, the amount of tackles. Those guys are all over the place. It's 3rd and about a semi-truck right now for Valpo. 3rd and 15. Spreading out the defense. They're saying McKenzie in motion. It's a screenplay to Berta. Berta has a couple of blockers. Berta breaks a tackle. Berta to the 35, and he gets down at the 33, still short of a first down. But the question is, do you go for it right here?
You know what? I feel like you've got momentum on your side right now. I feel like this has got to be Four Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory right now, and it looks like that's what it's going to be. And by the way, my numbers are all off, so I'm done keeping track of numbers. Sorry. Almost got through the first half.
Tough break. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half, and it is a Vikings attempt at a 4th down. 2 receivers to the left. Stokes going to motion. Hosick going to throw it again. He's looking to his left. He's stepping up. Holly hits him. Ball is short. And the Wolves, led by the defensive captain, Adrian Holly, gets in the backfield, and it's a turnover on downs.
It looked like Hosick was starting to rear back to throw that one, and then all of a sudden Holly just jumps right into the picture and says, no, you don't.
Adrian Holly, long wingspan for 6'4", 255. It's incredible how he moves. I saw him play basketball, and I was amazed on how good he was on the basketball court. I can only imagine what he was like on the gridiron, but I'm witnessing it firsthand, and I'm telling you what, if I was one of the offensive linemen for the Vikings, I knew it was going to be a long day for me.
How much fun is it going to be for Adrian Holly? One year, you're going to Kansas, and then, you get to play at Michigan City, one of the biggest gyms in the area for basketball. And you get to play in a beautiful stadium like this for football. I mean, you're living a life of luxury right there.
It's a handoff to Evans, and Evans gets 2 yards as they get it across the 35 to the 36. It is 2nd and 8. So we've gone to Evans, we've gone to G in Harville. We're looking for one of those backs to really step up and have a long run, as Trent Hart has had a hard time lately with the Vikings front 7 really breaking in there.
Yeah, at one of these points, he's going to get that. He just needs to get that connection again. He had the first one right off the bat. And I feel like once he sees that ball get in his receiver's hands, it's going to work out in his favor the rest of the way as G gets the ball here.
G goes to his left, cuts back, and he gets 1 yard as he's very close to the 39, maybe 2.
So if I'm Coach French, I would think that maybe I need to just get a very short completion here. Let him get in a little bit of a rhythm with the arm, because then that can open up some doors a little bit later on, especially you can start looking deep down the field.
Well, one thing you don't want to do against this Vikings defense is become predictable.
Yeah.
A one-trick pony. Man, for Trin Hart, he's going to have to step up if the Wolves want to get a win here and move to 2-0 in DAC play. Let's see if this is a play that gets the Wolves offense back on track. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's a fake. Hart going across the middle. He tried to get to Marion. It was too high. The fans here for the Wolves want a flag, but the refs have making an argument that the ball is not catchable for Marion, trying to find a seam up the middle.
Well, this is a very good officiating crew, and there may have been I feel like there was even contact both ways from both guys there, so I like the no call. I let the guys play a little bit, but yeah, certainly just a little bit high on the throw, and that's, if you can get those little smaller completions, start building that arm strength and that confidence there, then, that eventually as you go a little bit deeper down the field, it might be a little bit more comfortable for him.
The clock stops at 3:16 after that incompletion. That's now a couple of drives in a row for the Wolves where they've stalled out and gone 3 and out. They opened up with that long touchdown. But since then, the Vikings defense has stood stout.
Well, that's just a testament to this Valpo team keeping teams under 25, or basically 26 points a game. The problem for Michigan City is that they only average about 13 points a game. So, Valpo already had a tough defense to begin with, and it's not like Valpo's playing, some slump teams here. You got a team like Penn, and they lost 49-42, but giving up 49 points, that's where a lot of that number gets inflated a little bit. But then 21 and then 7, like you said last week.
Well, Marion kicked it into the stands, and unlike baseball, you can't keep the football, so they had to get it back from the Vikings fans, which they made a nice trip here. A lot of green on the other side, but a lot of Wolves still filtering in here. The cheer on their team here at Ames Field. Lights are on. We're not at the high school. We're actually right down the road. It's a beautiful place for some balls. Hosick's going to throw. He steps to his left, buy himself some time. He's going to tuck it and run, and he's still staying on his feet. Get off me! Oh my goodness, Hosick disposing of a defender. And he keeps on running, and that defender looks like he is in some great pain.
Hosick comes up and, they talk about the stiff arm. He took the stiff arm and then just said, "Get out of the way, sir."
That was Derrick Henry level stuff.
That was impressive. And then Holly comes in to end the play. He says, "Enough of this."
But here it is. That was Isaiah Gibson that got hurt. He limped off the field, and Desmond Howard has ran out there. It's a reverse to Stokes. Stokes going to the right. Stokes going to get dragged down by his jersey, but it is another first down for the Valpo Vikings. And this is where it's going to get a little dicey for Michigan City. They'll still start off with the ball to start off the second half. The last thing you want to do is be down more points when they're down by 4 already. That's manageable. You can go back to the locker room, talk about it. But if you allow Valpo to get a touchdown here, it could be detrimental for them for the rest of the game.
Well, this is important right here, right now, on this drive. If, keep them off the scoreboard in these last 2 minutes, because your defense has already been doing well. They're keeping you in this game.
Hosick lets it go, and Hosick trying to find McKenzie, and he airmailed it as the Vikings are on the Wolves' side of the field at the 46-yard line, 2nd and 10, and with that incomplete pass, there's 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go.
But if you're Coach French, this defense needs to step up here, not allow Valpo to be able to score here before the halftime, because then he can come in and say, "We're in this game. It's a 4-point game. We are in this thing. We just need to pick up a little bit, make a few changes on offense, and before you know it, we've got the lead potentially in that second half." Valpo, on the other hand, saying, "Okay, we have to score here in the half."
Well, they've been allowing Hosick to let it rip. His last couple of plays, he's got 3 receivers left, the trips formation. He's looking left, trying to get over the middle, but Adrian Howley leaps up. Hosic's going to take the ball and run it himself and rumble for a first down. He is shifty for a quarterback.
That is just the strength of this Valpo team and the depth, and that's why when you talk about a team that can, maybe make a run deep into October and deep into November, that's what you have to start with. You have to have a quarterback that can have really all of those tools.
And especially, he didn't panic.
No.
You went to go throw it to your 10 receiver. Adrian Howley leaps into the air to bat it away like J.J. Watt did for the Texans. And he runs to the right, gets himself a first down. As they're at the 34 of Michigan City, quick completion out to Stokes. Stokes goes out of bounds, and that's key because that stops the clock at 1:35.
Yeah, so now they have some options here on what they want to run, and they want to just kind of milk this clock down, but they do want to score. But you talk about the quickness of play. We talked about it earlier. Kind of felt like Michigan City was kind of taking their time and being methodical, but now you're kind of picking up the tempo a little bit here for Valpo. Gives Michigan City defense a chance to get tired.
Callan Hosick having himself a good first half. His first year as the starting quarterback for Valpo.
There's a lot of trust there from Coach Marshall in his quarterback.
He had 6 touchdowns on the year, passing touchdown today. Try and find another one. Adrian Howley was there to cause havoc, and Hosick breaking yet another tackle, going to his left. He's got a blocker, and the Michigan City Wolves finally going to bring him down, and it looks like they might have missed a holding over there.
That's what it looked like, yeah, absolutely. But one thing that Hosick, as a junior, that he's going to learn, okay, he had 3 or 4 defenders right in front of him. Go down. Don't get risk of them coming in and tackling you heavy, because that risks an injury a little bit. At that point, once you see that there's a wall in front of you, go down.
Well, it was Adrian Howley we got there.
Originally, yes.
And then Hosick went to his right, broke a tackle. Wasn't sure who it was on the other side of Howley. Looks like a for sure thing. But I am impressed with how Hosick is moving. You can tell he's been using the ladder during his practices, because he is just stopping on a dime and taking off.
Well, he came in on the season, 23 rushes for 114 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing. He's had an impressive, he's got all those tools that you're looking for in a quarterback. He obviously reads the defense well. He knows when he needs to throw. He knows when he needs to tuck it and run. And, they're kind of getting away from that run a little bit with Berta because it just hasn't been there. Michigan City is definitely stopping that run game, but now it's opened up the holes for Hosick.
With Hosick really not being a proven quarterback just yet. Berta, as we talked about, he's one of the best backs you're going to find in the Dune Athletic Conference. He's gone to plenty of camps across Indiana to try to get his name out there. And, of course, everyone here in the DAC knows who Berta is. But Hosick, he hasn't had that fame just yet, but he might be making a name for himself here tonight in Michigan City. He's got a chance to throw it again. He's stepping up. Clean pocket. Look at that pocket work. Here comes Adrian Howley. Flag flying in. And Hosick crowd down. And I got to tell you what, when 4 Wolves land on top of you with their body weight, you might want to think about sliding next time.
That's what I was saying earlier. You gotta learn, okay, I gotta just go down, because you got Valparaiso. So holding on Valparaiso, which is gonna knock this back and negate that positive gain there for Hosick. And that's something that we can talk to Coach Marshall in the future. But yeah, you have 4 guys that are all throwing their body weight on you. You're not wanting that, because that's just gonna lead to a potential cracked rib or something like that. Well, trying to take that slide and get some safety there.
Ask about Mike McDaniel and his quarterback not sliding after Tua got knocked out yesterday with a concussion. You want your quarterback to stay healthy, especially when Trice Custy is the backup quarterback, and he only had 1 throw last week that led to a 16-yard touchdown late in the game against LaPorte.
Well, and we want all these talented kids around Northwest Indiana to be playing on Friday nights. We don't want anybody injured. Now, granted, when an unfortunate event like an injury like that happens, it allows for other kids to get their opportunities as well. But
you're talking just like Coach did when next man up.
Yeah.
That's something he said. He said, 200 kids were sick at Valpo High School with upper respiratory.
Yeah, there's sickness is going all around. Just that time of year, you get back in school, you get kids all back together. I think most of these schools are kind of dealing with that as well. But yeah, just trying to find those key combinations, and right now, Hosick is not a guy you want to lose.
Hosick with a screen play. Here's Thomas Berta and some big men rumbling down the field. You feel the ground shaking beneath you, and those guys get a head of steam. And the clock is running. Under a minute to go. The Vikings got to go quick. It is third, and I would say about 12 to 13 yards just outside of the 25 on Michigan City's territory. 45 seconds to go. Still running. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Hosick going to put a receiver in motion.
Taking a lot of time off this clock, Andrew.
Hosick wants to go deep. He lets it go. Does he have a man? He does! Stokes catches it for a touchdown! Hosick with his second touchdown pass. He links up with one of the most electrifying players in the region, Julian Stokes, making yet another incredible play.
Well, he had a lot of damage in week 1. He had that kickoff return in week 2, and then it was kind of more of a ground and pound effort last week. But needing him, he's an electric player, as you said. So much fun to watch, and it's been fun to cover his career these last number of years.
Bill Marshall, head coach of the Vikings, gotta be smiling after seeing his quarterback take a huge step in that drive. And the Vikings knocked down the extra point. It was 28.8 seconds to go. We will take...
I'm going to just... the long snapper was Sam Thorgren, and then our holder was Troy Danzy for the kicker, Drayden Wilcox, on an extra point.
With that, we'll take a quick break as you're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Also, second quarter, Chesterton 14, LaPorte.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student
in Michigan City as the Vikings lead 17-6. Kellen Hosick. He linked up with Julian Stokes for 6. He has 2 touchdown passes, one to Austin McKenzie for 38 yards, and for Julian Stokes, it was another long pass as Hosick has showcased the legs, the arm strength, the quick release, a fumble by Michigan City here on the kickoff attempt. They're able to regain it, and there is a nice sliding tackle for the Valpo Vikings. That was Ben Fedorchak. And here we go. You gotta wonder if Michigan City is just gonna take a knee here and send it to the half with them down 11 points. They scored on their first drive, and the offense really hasn't had no answers against this Vikings defense. They have stood strong.
First and 10 Wolves.
At 25 yards on that catch to Stokes. What an impressive play. This Valpo team is so much fun to watch, and it's such a well-coached team. And that's not to say that, I'm not saying that Michigan City isn't, but we're getting to watch Valpo a couple of times now. They're so methodical. They do things just the right way almost every single time.
Michigan City's going to go for it as Hart's trying to escape pressure, and he's going to get sacked instead. Omar Delgado, the 6'2 senior, bringing him down for the sack, and there is a wolf on the ground hurt.
Lengo's Pizza has been a favorite since 1979, serving Northwest Indiana from 3 locations: Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Order online at lengospizza.com. Lengo's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. And before you ask, yes, I've had Lengo's Pizza as well. There's virtually no pizza I have not had.
Well, that's going to be the end of the first half, and I got bad news for the Wolves fans. That was Adrian Holly that had to limp back to the sidelines to close out that first half. Maybe we'll get Lengo's delivered for halftime.
And we'll see. We'll call.
Yeah, we'll call. You have the number. You know what to get. As we get ready to send it off to halftime.
It's the Host Connections halftime report coming up. I can't wait. The Host Connections halftime report. You know what, Andrew? They are proven under pressure. Do.
And the Vikings, they proved they're good under pressure too after they allowed a long touchdown. And their defense, they have done extremely well since then. And we'll be right back after this break here on the Region Sports Center with the only game in town.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Oh, now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
He's glorious.
And now on the road, you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production, including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Value Flooring in Valparaiso is a family-owned business with over 20-plus years in the industry. Located at 708 Silhavy Road, Value Flooring is open Monday through Saturday, offering a wide selection of flooring options and installation. With knowledge and experience, Value Flooring can also assist customers on a personal level by coordinating colors and by selecting the right products for their lifestyles. The number to call is 548-2705, and the website is valueflooringonline.com.
Discover excellence at Mueller Acura of Maryville. Whether you're seeking the thrill of a new Acura or the reliability of a certified pre-owned, we have the perfect vehicle waiting for you. At Mueller Acura, our knowledgeable team is here to provide you with the first-class experience. From your first test drive to every service appointment, experience luxury, performance, and unparalleled service at Mueller Acura of Maryville, where your journey begins. Visit us today or explore our inventory online at MullerAcuraofMaryville.com.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
You're watching the Host Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Host Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hostconnectionsinc.com. Host Connections, proven under pressure. Andrew Miner with Michael Bradner. And Mike, early on in this game, we watched Valpo and Michigan City land some haymakers. 38-yard touchdown, a 54-yard touchdown on a screenplay to McKinney. But after that, we saw the Vikings defense step up, and for Trent Hart, the quarterback for Michigan City, he seemed to be struggling against the pressure. A lot of his throws were sailing on him.
Yeah, it felt like right off the bat we were going to be watching a shootout here for sure in terms of the scoring. It was just going to be back and forth with touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, that Valpo defense, and you touched on it right when we opened up this broadcast, just, allowing only 7 points last game, and, just coming into their own and having a lot of really impressive players. And yeah, I think they're kind of mixing some things up here on Hart, and it's making it a little bit difficult for him to get those reads that he's wanting, because I think he's kind of sped up a little bit. It's what it feels like. I've never stood in that quarterback position, so no. But it certainly looks like he's getting sped up a little bit, because those throws are getting a little bit high on his receivers. That's why I'm wondering if it would be just a little bit more beneficial to kind of get some very short passes, just kind of get that momentum, building that confidence up a little bit. Okay, I made a completion here, just to get that confidence going a little bit, because I think that's what they're going to need to do if they're going to get back in this game. I mean, they're not far out of reach of this one right now. It's an 11-point game. It's not like it's a blowout at this point from Valpo. And for a lot of people, especially if you're over there on the other side of the sidelines wearing green, you're thinking, we're going to come in here, we're just going to dominate. Well, that hasn't been the case right now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're talking about Trent Hart's play, but Kellen Hosick close out that first half. He looked like he really took a huge step forward from the first 3 weeks to today. He was scrambling, and he was even able to hook up with Julian Stokes for a 25-yard touchdown. A throw out on the run, and he let it go. It was a perfect pass right on the money, and the Valpo Vikings, they walked into the halftime locker room with smiles across their faces.
He looks like a senior. He's only a junior, but he's
first-year starter junior.
Right, and first-year starter junior. It's only we're 3.5 weeks into this season now, but he's looking like a senior veteran out there. We have guys like Noah Ehrlich for Crown Point playing in their senior season. It feels like we've watched him for 10 years now, but it looks like Hosick has been playing for quite a number of years here in this Valpo program. And again, we talk about just the way that these coaches get to their guys. This starts at a young level and gets that program right where they want it to be, so that way these guys perform at the top level when they get here at the varsity program. But yeah, he's been impressive. I mean, you talk about that 38-yard touchdown throw to McKenzie right to start things up at the early onset to this one, puts Valpo up 7-0, and then coming in and giving that throw to Stokes to kind of end the half there, 25 yards ish to get that one right before the half. And it's so much fun to watch this kid play. And the best part of it is, Andrew, we can still get the rest of these next 5 weeks plus another year.
And another year of Kellen Hosick. And speaking about Noah Ehrlich and the Crown Point Bulldogs, that's another game that's on the Region Sports Network tonight. They're hosting LC. And this is a good time to segue our way into the Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. And this Strachan Van Til scoreboard update is your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. What do you got for us, Mike?
All right, over at Wheeler, number 8, they're up 23-0 on Bishop Noel in the second. Byron Center out of Michigan taking on the Morton Governors tonight. They are on top of the Governors, 27-14. No score that I wrote down for Boone Grove. One of the top teams in terms of some of the offensive numbers that we saw and some of the top talent this week as well. Chesterton taking on LaPorte. Chesterton up 14-0 on the Slicers. East Chicago and Bowman don't have a score for them at the moment. Hammond Central is taking on Indianapolis Shortridge. No score over there at the moment. Hanover Central playing the Low Red Devils. I was thinking this one might actually be a pretty close game. It's a 2-touchdown game right now. 28-14. Hanover number 2 in our RSN top 10 poll. So much talent over there at Hanover Central. Highland Calumet, no score in the second. Hobart hosting KV. The Brickies are up 14-7 at the moment. And then over in Crown Point, I like to call it Turf City at this point. Everything is turfed over.
It is. It's
Buzz's World, he's having a good time. They're up on Lake Central 21-0. And you're a Crown Point guy. I'm a Lake Central guy. So number 1 versus 9, not the way I want it to go, but that Crown Point team is so much fun to watch. I was really curious to see how Lake Central would come out this year with their new coach and new quarterback and stuff like that. And it was a close game last year in the regular season for about 3 quarters, and then Crown Point opened the doors and put the whooping on a bit late in that game. Lake Station, Indianapolis, Washington. I don't have a score. We don't have a score update from Maryville and Portage at the moment. Number 3 Pirates taking on number 10 Portage Indians. No score over there at the moment. And Drayen up 7-0 against the Mustangs. This was one I wasn't sure. So you have a Munster Mustangs team who I thought was going to be, I thought that it would be one of those teams that you have a first-year coach again, still struggling, might grab a win here in the first 4 weeks or something like that. They're still looking for their first points. They haven't scored yet this season. Wow. We're here 3.5 weeks into the season. They haven't scored yet. So hopefully they're going to be getting on the scoreboard here soon. Andrean up 7-0 on them. That is probably one of the more surprising things about region football this year. River Forest up 21-0 on West Side in the first. Of course, this game here, Valpo, Michigan City, Valpo up 17-6. And then over at Griffith, they are up 35-0 on Whiting right now. We had a lot of people commenting before the season started about the Griffith Panthers being a loaded team, and man, they have just been putting the whooping on teams these first 3.5 weeks of this high school football season. Another fun team to go watch. Coach Mason leaving Michigan City here to go over there, and it's been impressive in year number 2 over there.
Well, Valpo impressively leaving 17-6, and you might have heard Mike mentioning some of the rankings. Valpo is ranked number 4, and this is the Annenberg Home Improvement Top 10. Visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, Instagram, and Region Sports Network YouTube for this week's Home Improvement Top 10 presented by Annenberg Exteriors. You can find them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. And
that's Berg with a U, by the way.
Berg with a U.
That's a Berg with a U. It's all about the U. Annenberg, they do such great stuff, and I'm glad that they're still with us here. I know they were a big help with the baseball state championship back in June when we got to cover Ileana and Lake Central. So big thanks to Annenberg for being with us again here for the high school football season.
Do you have a vote in the top 10 every week on the regions?
I am not one of those rankers. I have inquired on how to become a ranker, and I was told, "Don't worry about it. You're never going to be one." So I said, "Okay." Actually, that's not what was said, but that's kind of the gist that I got. Yeah, it's like, well, we know, it's like the Electoral College. You don't know who's actually voting for stuff.
Speaking like a true history teacher at middle school,
you don't know those people.
Well, the Valpo Vikings, they're ranked number 4. Crown Point was ranked number 1, as you mentioned, but if Valpo can come out here and get an impressive win against Michigan City, you have to think that the voters over the Region Sports Network might consider moving them up to that 3 spot. Maybe we'll see. But again, they have a second half, and who knows, Michigan City, they got to be hungry to get their first win against this team since that classic regional championship game back in 2021 when they won on a field goal in double overtime. So it's been quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the regular season, you're talking about, in the postseason. When you look at the regular season, this has been a matchup dominated by Valparaiso, and that's something that Michigan City would like to flip the script on 100%. And they got to do it at kind of the better time of the year in a lot of ways, because let's face it, when you boil it down, you want to, your end of season record really doesn't matter. That's why a lot of teams will try to load up that first couple weeks of the season. Even if you start off 0-2, you're not that worried about it if you take on some of that good talent. But, for Michigan City here, because I'm watching Hart warm up right now, he's got a good arm. He does. You just need to build that momentum a little bit, but and it's going to start with him having some positivity out there, some positive throws, and just the receivers being on the same page to get this, because I believe they start with the ball to start the half.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to, I'm not saying they're going to script this first half here, the first couple plays of this half, but just building that momentum, getting that positivity, and keeping his mind sharp and saying, yeah, I can complete these passes. It's not a problem.
So that's what Michigan City is looking for in the second half, is for Trenton Hart to step up. What does Valpo need to do to continue this dominance and be able to walk out of Michigan City with a win in their third in a row and their second in conference play?
Well, right now it kind of feels like they have found what's working for them, and we'll see what kind of adjustments Michigan City is going to make here for the second half, because right now it's Hosick. I mean, you have effectively stopped Berta for the most part. I mean, he doesn't have too many yards, and when he does get some yards, it's really not big breakout plays. He had one big breakout for about 23 yards, but that was about it. And you can, if you can leave that minimized, it's a win for Michigan City. But it has opened the door for a guy like Hosick to start running and then also open up those passing lanes. So we'll see what kind of adjustments, see if they, disguise some things a little bit here. I think you got to just be doing what you're doing, because it's working right now. And we're seeing, this is why Coach Marshall is just one of the best in the state of Indiana, and it comes with a lot of his experience over at Valpo University. He's able, I feel like him and his staff are able to make the adjustment. A lot of teams will make the adjustments at the half or, at certain, downtimes. They're making adjustments on the fly.
Yes.
And it's working for them. And that's not easy to do. I remember talking to a coach, I believe it was Coach Skinner, where, he said, we came out in the second half with play calls and schemes that were not in our playbook coming into the game, and our quarterback was able to effectively run those plays. That feels like Hosick can hey, we want to run this play, do this, and this, and this, and on the fly, he's able to do it. It's impressive to watch.
What was really impressive, too, is that Coach Marshall told you need to watch out for Austin McKenzie.
Yeah.
And as we said during the broadcast, usually what happens, the coach tells you that the guy may make an impressive play, you go, okay, that's what he's talking about. He made a couple, but because of him being able to make those plays, it opened things up for Stokes to score that late touchdown, because they were so concerned about McKenzie being on that side. You're putting Stokes here on an island with a cornerback, and as we said, Stokes, he makes the electric plays because he's one of the quickest players you're going to find in the Dual Athletic Conference and in the region.
I wish I was able to keep going with the numbers. I'm not good at it. I mean, you have McKenzie coming here, 6 catches for 107 yards with a touchdown on the season, whereas you had Stokes with 9 catches, 184 yards. Everyone's going to kind of gravitate towards Stokes a little bit. They know about Stokes. They know that he's one of those guys to keep an eye on for sure. So that opens the door for McKenzie. And usually a lot of times when coaches tell me, hey, this is a guy that maybe keep an eye on, it's because they have stood out in practice. They do those things in practice. Well, now, I've always been told that practice makes permanent, and that's where McKenzie is doing good things out here today for sure. There's other guys that he won. Caleb Sharp was another one. That left tackle has been doing great work out there on that offensive line. And those are some of the the best friends of a quarterback that really don't get as much say. So you got Caleb Sharp on the left tackle, DeAndre Price at left guard, Alex Burkett at the center position, Caden Reeder at right guard, and Peyton Barrera the right tackle. They're doing things that are allowing these plays to happen. So don't forget about the offensive line, and then Keegan Bagley as well, doing things at the tight end position. There's so much going on for Valpo. That's just it's a lot of really good benefits. I'll go, and we're going to see right now early on here, I'm going to give the credit to Michigan City offensive line. Let's get them working a little bit here. Jeremiah Jones at left tackle, Lawrence Phillips at left guard, Wesley Schmidt at center, Edgar Garcia at right guard, and then Adrian Holly also playing right tackle, by the way. Not only playing it on defense, but also the right tackle. He's playing both sides of the ball. How impressive is that?
Well, I've been watching him all night. He races over with the number 55 on his back, and he'll rip it off with number 11 underneath, almost like he's Superman. And it's good to see that he's standing on the sideline after he got rolled up to close out the first half. Michigan City going to try to return this to open up the second half. That's a nice move across the 20, and he falls down at the 24, where the Michigan City Wolves will start to open up the second half. That was Jaden Stringer. Getting to the 24. And let's see if Michigan City can open up the second half with a touchdown as they open up the first half with a long score.
You had mentioned, for Michigan City fans to be just a little bit worried. We do see Holly out there. He had come off the field. He had been limping off the field, but he is out there to take care of that right tackle position.
Is there any tape on maybe that left leg? It looks like that's already got rolled up. Might see some. It's hard to tell with the white cleats. Three receivers to the left is a screen play. That's how Michigan City scored their first touchdown. It was completed to Harville, and Harville got some good blocks and was able to scamper out of bounds across the 30 to the 32. That's a gain of about 8 for Michigan City.
He had a nice stiff arm out there. How about that play over on that left side?
But there's that easy completion you're talking about.
Yeah, the short yard play, just kind of get that momentum going there. That was, by the way, your Host Connection halftime report to end the halftime. Host Connections, they are proven under pressure. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, one back in a 4-point stance. It looked like the old T formation from the Bears. The handoff to G, and it was pretty easily diagnosed by Omel Delgado of Valpo getting into the backfield. I have not seen that formation probably in my broadcasting career, Mike.
Well, it looks like G's having a few words here with,
was it Evans?
Looks like it was it was Demarion Evans who having a conversation with him about, hey, you need to do this, or hey, you maybe to do that, or hey, you know what, maybe I saw this, let's work on this going forward. I wouldn't say it was a little bit animated, but I think maybe just a little frustration out of him.
It looked like they ran into each other.
Yeah, so they're just kind of discussing, hey, you need to go here, just discussing the play a little bit.
Well, that strange formation didn't pay off as there's a throw out to the numbers. It's completed. A first down and a nice throw by Trin Hart to Mikhail Lawrence, and that is a Michigan City first down.
That's what I was saying. Just get some momentum going on your side. Get those, they don't have to be deep passes. Just get some completions, easy completions. Let them get them into a rhythm, and it kind of seems early on here. Obviously, they always talk about how things get scripted right off the bat. Hey, let's run this. Hey, let's run this right off to start, and let's move a little bit quicker, and it's working for Michigan City right now, but that's only going to boost the confidence of Hart here.
Trey Hart has a 62% completion percentage. Missed a lot of throws in the first half. Here's a handoff to Evans to the wide side of the football field, and he is getting to the 40 for a 3-yard gain to make it 2nd and 7. As the Michigan City Wolves really feel like it's the first down they've had in a really long time.
Yeah, Delgado was in there on the tackle. Caleb Sharp was also in there on that tackle as well. So he was in there the defensive tackle position. Again, another guy playing both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Not easy to do, especially at those defensive line and offensive line positions.
Hart gonna drop back. They're gonna let it go. He's got a man! And did he bring it down? He did! What a catch! Jermaine Harville flipping fields. That's a 4 seasons first down. A long play.
I was trying to say, get him that confidence, get those short passes that opens up the long game down the road. And that's what worked out here for Hart. I told you, he's got a good arm. It's impressive to watch. He came in here with almost 600 yards of passing. That'll put him over there, no question.
That's 5th in the region, according to the NWI Times. I wrote on Trin Hart's scout report that he's accurate with the football. He didn't look like that in the first half, but certainly here in the second half he does. A pitch play to the right. G like a bulldozer running over some Vikings. And he gets 4 or 5 yards as they're inside the red zone as they get to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, we talked about Berta kind of being a bus, right? He takes the guys with him. He drags them with him. In this particular case here, G says, I'm going to run right through you. I'm a bulldozer.
G looking like a freight train right there. He's lowering the head, saying, get out of my way. Under 9 minutes here in the third quarter. A nice long drive for Michigan City. They're down 11 points. They have the pistol formation, and they're going to hand it off to G, and G is going to get upended, it looks like, by Brody Wheeler, the sophomore linebacker, as the whistles are finally being blown. And they're on the 11.
The effectiveness of that tackle, they went low on that tackle first. If you're going to stop G, you can't go above the waist. You kind of got to go below the belt a little bit to get that stop. You got to tackle the legs, the thighs, to be able to stop his momentum and keep him from going anywhere. Because if you get him in the upper body, those lower legs are still going to be pushing you through.
Well, I'm willing to bet that a lot of those Vikings that got hit by G on the play before that one were saying, hey, don't hit him high. It doesn't feel very good. Or there's that T formation again. This is an interesting concept we haven't seen all game. And it looks like it's going to be ran a lot better as Harville tried to leap over a couple of Vikings, but instead they grabbed by the legs and sling them to the ground. And it was Brendan Gagnon, the senior captain, that was celebrating getting the tackle. And here it is. It is 4th down for Michigan City.
I tell you what, he tried to hurdle somebody that was down on the field, and he ended up just getting trucked because of it.
You thought midway through you were thinking that was a bad idea.
He's like, hey, he started to go up, and he's like, oh.
Well, this is Former Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory. Pistol formation, giving it to G. G gets wrapped around the legs. He's trying to fall forward. The Vikings pushing him back, and it looks like he might be short. Might be just a yard short. They had to get 2 yards. But G up the middle. Looks like he might have been denied. It is awfully close, and you hear some cheers from the other side after 4 minutes and 40 seconds on the drive. The Michigan City Wolves come up empty, and the Valpo Vikings defense carry the momentum from the first half here into the second half.
You know what? I know some people might say, take the points, maybe go for the field goal if you feel confident with it. Zake Noon hasn't kicked a field goal this year. He's 4 for 6 on PATs. But you know what? I like the 4th down go. You have momentum driving. This is the longest drive you've sustained the entire game, because when you did score, it was basically a one-play drive. So keep it going. Keep going. Get your guys on the field. Get that positivity. Get Valpo tired.
I'm not going to make any arguments, because I also believe that was the right call there to go for it on 4th down, because don't forget, when Michigan City did score that touchdown, they missed the extra point because it went right through the hands of the holder from Michigan City. So that's why it's a 17-6 game.
Right, and that's not, not to say that, if you have trust in your kicker, go with it. But I like the momentum. Keep, especially with Hart doing as well as he did down the field, making a couple completions down at our end, and then as Hosick.
QB draw, and a flag being thrown in. This looks like it's in the area of holding, as Hosick was met by Carl Tucker.
And I believe it's going to be Caleb Sharp who's going to get called for the holding.
And that's going to be certainly interesting. There's the hold, and that's going back. It was 2nd and 5, so it's going to become around 2nd and 15, or is that half the distance to the goal?
You know what? I'm not 100% in this particular case. I'm not sure based on where the yardage is, if that makes a difference on that. I know this is a very good officiating crew. The fact that I saw the lineup card and I recognized every single name on there tells me that this is a very good officiating crew.
Well, let's see if they go back the 10 yards, as they're now just marking it off. And that looks like a half a distance to the goal.
And they're still bringing it back a little bit farther.
The referee set the ball down. They picked it right back up. And now the Vikings are confused, it looks like. And there it goes. Finally spotted down inside the 10. That appears to be the 9. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They're putting Stokes in motion to the wide side of the field. And look who they're going to. Stokes, who gets a block. He's going upfield. And Stokes gets a lot of that yardage back. For Valpo, it is 3rd down.
Michael Crawford out there to push him out of bounds. Nice play by him to stay with it and keeping track with Julian Stokes, because he's a fast kid.
Man. I was trying to come up with a nickname for Stokes, but he's electrifying. That's the only way you can really describe him. This electrifying player in the region.
You want to call him the Rock then?
I was thinking about it.
So I know what
the Region Rock, maybe? 6:29 to go after Stokes went out of bounds. It's a fake to Berta, throw across the middle, and they tried to go back to Stokes, but it was denied by Damone Thomas as he puts the sling I should say the sling, he put the strap onto Julian Stokes, and it's 4th down.
So here you go. I mean, this is, when you talk about the field position game, this is going to work for Michigan City. They're going to have good field position here, unless they get a bad bounce or something. But they're going to get good field position to start this next drive here to start the second half. You're already getting momentum going on your side. This is working right now for you.
Ball is spotted on the 17-yard line for Valpo. They're going to punt it away. They punted a few times tonight. They've been pretty good punts, and this is a good one. Takes
the bounce that the Valpo was looking for.
This is going to be a risky return attempt, and even more yards lost. That is huge for the Vikings, as Brandon Gagnon, the captain, was the first one there, and that was a risky attempt by Stringer.
Andrew, that's why I'm sitting here with you and I'm not doing anything involved in the game down there. I thought Michigan City was going to have good field position to start this thing up, but I said the only way it was going to end out was if a Valpo bounce goes their way, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, don't forget earlier that the Vikings were able to pin the Wolves on their own 5-yard line.
That's right.
On a punt. They punted that ball with the line of scrimmage being the 17 from around the shadow of their own end zone. Michigan City has to start on their own 23-yard line. Net yardage for Valpo. 6:13 to go in the third quarter. As Hart looks to the sideline, gets the call, claps the hands, screen play, completed to the outside. Haven't really said Hart's name a whole lot, as he is corralled by Brody Wheeler, the 6'1 sophomore linebacker who's been all over the place. He's came in with 18 total tackles on the season. That will go down as a solo tackle.
Yeah, pretty impressive play right there to take on, as you said, Kyron Hart. We've said the name Hart quite a bit, but not in terms of number 2. We've said number 1. But Kyron 2 getting that completion there.
Kyron Hart had 6 receptions for 115 yards last week. I believe that's his first catch. Hand off to G. G stops, trying to go outside the numbers, and a flag being flown in, and it looks like it could be a holding penalty on Jeremiah Jones.
There were 3 Vikings in there on that tackle to get G down. That just tells you what kind of force he's bringing. It takes 3 Vikings to bring down a Wolf.
You're holding on to that one for a long time?
No.
Holding penalty, there it is. Not sure if it was on Jeremiah Jones, but it landed right by his feet as he immediately looked up. And the referee's having a discussion on where the holding penalty was. It spotted the foul, and they're marking off the yardage. Already been a tough night offensively for Michigan City. The last thing you need is self-inflicted woes.
Yeah, you don't want to be shooting yourself in the foot here. That's just kind of that was one of the, 2 weeks ago when I saw Valpo, that was one of the things that was hurting them in that first half was just penalties. They have certainly cleaned that up quite a bit here.
Hart steps back, he's stepping up, going to his left, throws it across the middle. It's a completed pass. That looks like it was Harville. No, actually, that was Zaire McKinney that jumped into the air and made the catch. And they get spotted at the 30. So they got some yards back after the holding penalty to make it 3rd and 4. So actually they got all those penalty yards back. It was a gain of 10. Under 5 minutes to go. Michigan City had a long drive of 4 minutes and 40 seconds to start off the second half, but they were stopped short on a 4th and 2. They're on their own 30. They're down by 11. Vikings defense been on the field for quite some time. They got to be getting tired, and they're going to G. G keeping the feet churning, and he's got to inch himself past the first down marker, and those chains are going to move for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
First one I saw in there on the tackle was Ben Fedorchak, 6'1", 195 pounds, meeting the 5'6", 220-pound frame of G.
Fedorchak had 7 total tackles last week. He gets one right there. And the Michigan City Wolves are on their own 34. Waiting for them to play with some urgency. They're down by 11 and under 4:20 to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Hart looking to his left. He's going to go across the middle, and he had open targets. Lawrence was wide open on the post pattern, and he had a seam, but it was a bad throw, just a little bit off target.
That's what it was looking like in that first half, just getting sped up a little bit too quick, and maybe enjoying or liking what he's got on the play and just rushing it just a little bit. That's the thing we talked about. Hosick being a junior quarterback, Hart is also a junior quarterback. So kind of, I'm not saying that these are rookie mistakes, but juniors that don't get as much playing time, and this would kind of be in the first season of varsity, maybe perhaps.
2nd and 10. There's a handoff to G. G has a seam. G still fighting forward. And G is going to get himself a first down.
Yeah, he turned into a bust there for a second because he met the defenders and he started dragging them with him.
Sound the horn because here comes the bus. Jamarian G picked up a couple of first downs for the Wolves as he went 11 yards to move those chains. They stayed in this pistol formation for quite some time now. Let's see if they go for a play action. They won't. They're going to feed G again as G ran into a defender. That was Lucas Peterson. Knocked him down and kept on going. And he gets 2 yards. They're close to midfield. They're on their own 48. 3:30 to go.
Yeah, it looked like Peterson got his bell rung on that one. It took him a little bit to get up. It's a force of a human being coming at you right there.
Yeah, G had a full head of steam. Meanwhile, Peterson was on his back foot, so he had nowhere to go except to just accept the punishment from Jamarian G, the senior. Had 112 rushing yards last week.
So the running game has been established here for Michigan City. I was going to say let's look for a throw. That's what they're looking for out to the left.
Oh, that's a beautiful throw right on the money to Harville. Looked like a zig route. Ran back inside, cut back outside, caught the ball, got both his feet inbounds, and another four-season mechanical first down. So here we go. Nice couple of sustained drives by Michigan City, who had a lot of 3-and-outs in the first half. And once again, they find themselves into Valpo Vikings territory.
I want to correct you for just a second, Andrew. I believe that was number 8, Anthony Murphy, that made that last completion.
Got a back on both sides, a fake, and Hart's going to keep it. Hart running up the middle. He's cutting back to the inside part of the field. It's a first down. It was 3rd and 1, and a really good decision by the junior quarterback.
13 rushes for 59 yards coming into today. Hart also has a set of wheels, just like we talked about with Hosick. And now, here in the second half, it's turning into the Hart show. Not the old Hart show from back in the day, but showing my age on that one. But this is a different Hart show that we're seeing here. It was kind of the Hosick show in the first half, and now Hart putting on pretty much a quarterback clinic here.
2 minutes to go. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, and off to Evans, and Evans doesn't go anywhere.
Feels like a play like that may have just been kind of a play to set up, just maybe try to get a couple of chunk yards if you can. Give your quarterback a little bit of a rest and a little bit of a breather after making that big run.
Tackled by Ben Fedorchak.
We've been saying his name quite a bit tonight. Having a good game in there.
After he didn't play the first 2 games of the season. Instead it was Nick Fry, the sophomore. Fedorchak back in there in his 4-4-3 defense.
We talk about the impressiveness of the Valpo defense right off the bat. We had an early interception by Jacob Moore, kind of put the momentum on the side of the Vikings.
Fake. They're going to go deep. Lays it out there and incomplete. But the fans and even the sidelines want a flag. I'm not seeing any. It looked like it was a lot of hand finding there. Trying to get it to Kyron Hart, who's running the fade route towards the sidelines.
I'm not gonna lie, Andrew. I got blocked off here for just a moment at the end zone over there, so I couldn't see what they were looking for. But it looked like virtually everyone on Michigan City sideline there was, calling for wanting something.
From what I thought I saw the Viking corner get a lot of jersey on Kyron Hart.
That's what Coach French is telling the official on his side right now. Like, hey, he pulled his shirt all the way.
It was one of the Morris twins. That is Tyrus Morris. That is on this side. He's going up against Kyron Hart again. 3rd and 10. And the Michigan City Wolves want to take a timeout. Coach French still having some words for the side judge, and he's very frustrated. We'll take a quick timeout with them as you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Michigan City's on the ball there at Ames Field. Well, to the right, Hart looking for a man. He's got a man open, and it's completed. Zaire McKinney reeling in the pigskin, and they're going to move those chains. Yeah, again, another long third down conversion for Michigan City.
Well, when you start building the momentum for your quarterback on this side of the field, and this has been a long sustained drive for Hart here on this play, but when you started building up the momentum on this side to start the half, that's what is able to connect on these long passes later on down the road, and you're moving quickly, which is starting to force Valpo into a little bit of tiredness, I would imagine.
With McKinney going out of bounds, the clock has stopped at 1:06. They're going to put McKinney to the left, two receivers to the right. One of them being Kyron Hart. Handoff, and no, it's a fake, and the pass is intercepted. Jacob Moore again going down the sideline. He gets brought down. A huge turnover from Valpo. Their second interception. And that's a huge turnover for the Vikings.
Jacob Moore with his fourth interception of the season, and that might be one of the bigger ones right now, because you have Michigan City that was building all this momentum and was in a position to score, and now all of a sudden it has changed and kind of taken the wind out of the sails here at Ames Field.
Jacob Moore, there's only one way to describe him: ball hawk. Where the ball goes, he goes, as he swooped in to make a clutch interception for Valpo as the offense is still on the sidelines for a lot of this third quarter. There is a forward pass, and Stokes gets the block. Stokes gets the first down, and he's in Michigan City territory.
He makes the defense immediately once he kind of gets past there. Crawford meets him, and there is a Viking down. It is Stokes there. It's a little slow to get up. They're going to stop the clock. He's a little slow to get up, a little tentative on that. Maybe that right leg right now. Yeah, he can't get up at the moment. So we'll give you a couple of reads here. We'll move off of that. But I'll tell you what, it has been a piping hot start here to this second half. It started by Michigan City. Then you got the defense of Valpo that's doing that here, and just like the piping hot, you got piping hot pizza delivered right to your door. Call Squeegee's Pizza of Griffith. Squeegee's is located at 106 South Broad Street in Griffith. Give them a call at 219-924-6000. Pickup or delivery is Squeegee's Pizza of Griffith. The best hands, the best on Broad.
Best hands, like Jacob Moore's hands today with 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Don't forget to visit regionsports.com, Facebook /RegionSportsNation, and Instagram for this week's Powering Indiana Peak Performers presented by NECA, IBEW, Powering Indiana of Lake County. Powering Indiana, the region's most trusted electricians. So Stokes heading out of the game. The referees have yet to blow the whistle just yet, as the defensive coordinator of Michigan City has a few words for his team as they go out to the field. And right now they need a big stop after another first down for Valpo. It's 48.5 seconds left. Stokes just left the game with an injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, as he has had an impressive start to this year's campaign. And it could have been a free play, but neutral zone infraction on Michigan City. That looks like it's George Branch.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It was on that Obviously, the defensive line there kind of jumping a little bit early, getting a little bit antsy. So that'll give. And this is how Valpo kind of started right on the first play, right? They on their first drive got a offsides penalty.
You can always tell who it is after the flag is thrown by their body language.
Like, well, no, it wasn't me.
And George Branch, you could tell, was like, oh man, they got me.
Dang it.
Receiver going in motion. It's McKenzie. The fake to him. They get it to Berta. Berta makes a jump cut, and Berta gets it to the 33. Valpo's got to get to the 31 for another first down. But looking at the play clock is not going to run down, and the Vikings will gladly walk over to their own sidelines as they're up 17-6. And big credit to the Valpo Vikings defense. They bended, but they did not break. Got a turnover on downs and an interception by Jacob Moore, who could be walking away with our Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. As we flip fields, we'll be right back here on the Regent Sports Network, the only game in town. Maryville was up 8-6, from what I heard.
Okay.
And Crown Point's up 35-0.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Andrew Meyer with Michael Brandner. Happy that you're joining us on this Friday. And a run up the middle. And it's not going to go very far. As crashing in was Ethan Buskirk.
Just to give a little update for the Valpo fans, I'm kind of looking over at the tent, the pop-up tent. Julian Stokes was out, kind of hobbling around a little bit, like running around a little bit. He's not doing anything at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on him. See if he can get back into this one.
Well, the Vikings, they need 1 yard to move the chains. Two receivers to the right. They put McKenzie in motion. He goes behind the quarterback. Berta to the left. Berta runs into a den of wolves, but moves right past him. Gets about 4 or 5 yards, and another Valpo Vikings first down.
That is just the calling card of Thomas Berta. He just, he hits the defender, and then he just kind of pushes his way through and drags him with him to be able to get that yard. If I'm building my high school fantasy team, I think Berta's going to be one of those guys to be on my team for sure.
It's hard not to pick him when he's at over 2,000 career rushing yards here at Valpo. He's getting carries even as a sophomore. He's going to get yet another tote to add to his already impressive resume here in high school as he moves it across very close to the 20-yard line. They put him at the 22.
Well, what a job by the secondary for Michigan City, because the offensive line for Valpo created some space that even you or I could have gotten through to get some yardage, but that secondary closed down quickly on Berta.
The linebackers and the safeties for Michigan City were the story with their impressive stats, as once again it's the second level of defenders having to bring down Thomas Berta. He gets about 2 more yards and about 3rd and 4 right now for Valpo. Just milking that clock right now. So about 10 minutes to go. But yeah, I wonder if Michigan City gets a chance, if they're going to play with some urgency. They've been playing very slow and methodically on offense. They chew up a lot of clock, but it hurts. We don't walk away with any points.
Well, this is a big 3rd down here for Michigan City. Can they keep the big points off the board for Valpo?
Berta, got to get wrapped up around the legs.
That's going to be short of a first down, Andrew.
And Ethan Buskirk has been making some nice plays from Michigan City here on this drive. He understands what this could mean for the Wolves, is if they want a chance to come back in this game, they cannot allow Valpo to find the end zone for the 3rd time. Right now it's 17-6, 9:30 to go. And it looks like the Vikings are going to gamble a little bit here and go for it. Why not?
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised by this play call.
Let's see if they can give him the jump maybe. Right? We see 2 false starts on Michigan City, and they almost got them to draw off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like in this point in the game, you've got just over 9 minutes left to play. You're at this point in the field on 4th down. I feel like this is where, and you've got trust in your kicker, Wilcox, or you could use even Fonder, who's 7 of 7 on the season, and that might be who they use. I mean, they could still throw the offense out here. We had a timeout called. It would be I would be really intrigued if the offense comes back out here. There's just a lot of faith. I mean, it's short. It's manageable. It's not like it's a far way to go on 4th down here. You're talking, what, 4th and 3?
Yeah, 4th and 3, it says up on the scoreboard here on the far end zone from us.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be the kicking team. It's Fonder out there. I said 90. I thought 97. Let's see. It's Wilcox, so 82.
So Wilcox going to have a long attempt here.
So the ball will be on the 20.
So about 37 yards?
Yeah, 37.
This could be a backbreaker for Michigan City. Here we go. Snap, the hold, the boot is a line drive. It looks good, and it is good. 3 more points for the Valpo Vikings. They're up 20-6 with 9:05 to go in the 4th quarter. Let's see if the Michigan City Wolves can create some magic here at home as they're down by 2 touchdowns as you're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Send to Your Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Send to Your Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Send.
Kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. The Vikings, 9 minutes and 6 seconds away from getting the W here on the road. Let's see how Michigan City responds as they let the ball take a bounce off the turf. They're going to try and return this, and Stringer gets to the 20-yard line, about 6 or 7 yards on the return, and the Vikings kickoff coverage was A1, and the Michigan City Wolves have to try and go 80 yards to even make this interesting and to cut the Valpo lead in half. What's it going to take here, Mike?
You know what? I think right off the bat, I mean, you're trailing 20-6. I would think we talked kind of about this off the air. I feel like for Michigan City, you got to score quick. I mean, there's only 9:01 left on the clock. You got to get a quick score, and then you got to try to get that ball back as quickly as possible. Keep Valpo off the board and not let them get a whole methodical drive. So trying to score quickly here, maybe kind of picking up the tempo. It seemed to be kind of working when they did go a little bit quicker.
Trying to get to a receiver on the left, and that is completed to Zaire McKinney, and then here comes a flag. I believe it was completed.
So the ball ended up in the hands of the defender for Valpo, so I don't...
The flag flew in, and I believe they're going to get him for a pass interference. Yeah, indeed. They got away with one earlier, and it is a pass interference. That was a good throw by Trent Hart as the Vikings fans boo. And this time it's the Michigan City fans cheering. Kind of saw the flip-flop of that in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I tell you what, Michigan City fans, they are a fun group of people, and they support their teams wholeheartedly. That's why I always want Michigan City teams to be good, because when you come out here, this place is always electric. I don't care what sport you're talking about.
Gee, carrying a couple of Vikings with them. as he gets very close to the Michigan City logo in the middle of the field as he gets stopped down at the 43-yard line.
2nd and 2.
Second and 2, so it was an 8-yard run, about 6 or 7 yards after contact. That's a rack.
Now that they've established this running game for Michigan City, I mean, he's just plowing his way through the defensive line and just picking up those extra yards after that initial contact.
Looking like a cannonball going through the Vikings ship as G stumbles, still going, gets a first down as it was one of the Morris twins. That's Tice Morris. Morris,
To the 49-yard line.
he missed last year with a concussion. His brother missed half a season with a dislocated kneecap, but both of them are back. They are strong, and they've been blanketing both sides of the field.
Did you say a cannonball through a Viking ship earlier?
Yes, I did.
I like that. That's good.
That's what Demarion G has been against the Vikings defense as of late.
You're getting to the fancy of the social studies teacher here.
I got an A+. Here comes the blitz. Hart gets hit. Ball in the air. It's a 50-50 ball, and Hart can't bring it down.
Well, the way that was going, you talk about some of these defensive players. Number 15 was in there on that one for, I believe that's one of the Morris. Yeah,
yep,
one of
Tyrus.
Tyrus Morris.
Those guys play video games, and I guess they're so good on the same team that no one wants to play them on the Vikings football team. They don't even argue with one another, I guess. But they hold everyone else accountable. That's how the Morris twins have grown together. Tyrus and Tice. And G, left side, and G gets maybe a couple of yards as it was Ben Fedorchak once again celebrating. They get to make some contact and make another tackle, and that was about 2 yards for Michigan City, so it's about 3rd and a little deep for the Wolves. They did convert a 3rd and 10 earlier, but they need to convert this one to keep their hopes alive, being able to come back into this game against Valpo.
Are you a video game guy?
I am.
Are you? What game? I mean, what's your...
College football right now.
Okay, all right.
I grew up on them before they were discontinued, and I was so excited when they came back. Hart drops back, throw across the middle, gets batted down at the line. This was finally being blown as there was still some contact between the Vikings and Wolves, as it's been a battle in the trenches between these two teams, and you got to think with it being the score it is and Michigan City running out of time, they got to go for it on 4th and 8.
Yeah, I would imagine they're going to go for it here, and I knew that play wasn't going to work out because G has had that red towel hanging behind his back the entire game. Just before the snap, he lost it, so I felt like Superman losing his cape.
And again,
so I was like, you know what, this play's not going to work. And sure enough,
with the score,
it's not going to work. He doesn't want to lose his cape anymore.
4th down, here we go. Hart looking, he's got a man. He completes it. McKinney tiptoeing on the sidelines with some toe drag swag, and those chains move, and the hopes stay alive from Michigan City, as that's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Maybe the biggest of the game thus far.
Yeah, that's a huge gain for Michigan City right now, and even better if you're McKinney because you catch it right in front of that Valpo sideline, kind of, without even having to say a word, like, yeah, we're still on the field.
Good catch. Touchdown Bearcats.
That's a big pickup right now. And you talk about, we've said throughout the course of this game, getting the momentum, building the confidence of this team. They feel confident right now is what it appears.
They spot the ball at the 36. G will get the handoff from his quarterback, and they get nothing, virtually, maybe an inch or two, as Hart has a trot over to the sideline and get the play call. They wasted a lot of time doing that. I think, hey, we got a couple of timeouts to work with. About 6 minutes to go. This got to feel like an eternity for Valpo and not so much time for Michigan City. Let's see if the Wolves can rally back and pull off a miracle here at home in this Dual Athletic Conference matchup.
If they're going to do it, Andrew, they got to get a quick score here.
It's an option play. It was a bad pitch, and this could be a loss of yards, but he saw on his feet as that was Harville. What a play by Harville, but there is a flag, I believe, on the far side of the field. This could be a block in the back. There were a couple of players on the ground, one for each team.
I'll tell you what, Coach Marshall wanted to get his guys back out there. It was Morris who was down after making that, Tyrus Morris after making that tackle. He literally picked him up and basically threw him right back down onto the field.
I just saw a signal that I haven't seen before. It was the two fists coming together like this. Was that head-to-head contact?
By our friends over there at Quintel Incorporated. Again,
usually blocking the back is a grasp around the wrist and the palm up, and the holding is grabbing the wrist and the fist clenched. But I've never seen the fists colliding together. That looks like a lot of yards were lost there by the Michigan City Wolves.
Great kickoff returns. He might take this the distance.
That looks like it could have been 15 yards.
Bishop Knoll, just like that, answers right back. What a
they are on their side of the field now.
But Bishop Knoll,
this could be a second in a semi-truck. I know I made that joke earlier, but a lot of distance to cover for Michigan City, who are no longer in Valpo territory. They have to take the air out of the football. Hart wants to go deep. He spins around, still on his feet, still going, and he gets pancaked by a couple of Vikings after maybe 2 or 3 yards. It was 2nd and 27.
He was a name we haven't called out. He's actually
right. Now it's 3rd down and about 25.
Nonetheless,
I'm still interested what the call was.
I'm trying to look that up for you here, Andrew. So,
because it really feels like a personal foul penalty of some sort.
Yeah. We mentioned keeping that fight.
Of course, the big thing now in football is protecting the noggin. They have concussions and CTE, so you got to think maybe that's where it's playing along. Bad throw, almost intercepted by Tice Morse, and it's 4th and 26.
Now bring up a 4th and 26.
So you got to wonder if you're Michigan City, you're thinking to yourself, hey,
makes you those
run the Hail Mary.
Touchdowns, those make you.
I mean, you got you're down at this point. You got to go for this play here.
Well, it looks like they're going to punt.
They are going. Well, they're going to try to quick
us out there as playing.
Unless you're trying to do some trickery here, but at least try to
across his shoulder. But that
get him down to quick 3 and out.
But Bishop Knoll,
5:22 to go.
Nice kickoff return, 85 yards, like Rich Castillo.
I believe both teams have 2 timeouts left.
We kept that.
As the Michigan City Wolves are trying to get into formation, there's 5 seconds on the play clock, and they're so confused. They don't want to burn a timeout. They're able to get it off in time, and there's a good boot. And Valpo's going to let it roll, and that is a tough break for Michigan City. It hugged the sideline all the way up and went outside into the end zone. Almost went out to Coffin Corner. But instead, the Valpo Vikings will get to start on their own 20-yard line. And here we go. Thomas Berta, one of the best running backs you're going to find in this conference and in the region. He's got to be looking like the closer right now. Almost like he should be making an intro like Edwin Diaz for the Mets. As his job right here is to end this game.
Yeah, he's going to just try to carry and get those yardages. He's got to get these first downs.
But it looks like maybe they had a legal formation, but the ball's getting false start. Okay. So false start, they're going to have to re-kick it. Didn't see the flags.
So at this point here, I mean, it's 2024 now. Can we get all these stadiums to start getting some referees to be able to announce what we got going on here?
Yes, please. Fair catch called, and it looks like the Vikings are going to start where they would have started after the penalty, except they lost 1 yard. They're at the 19-yard line. But once again, we'll say it again. Thomas Burr came in with 447 yards. He's past 500. He's halfway to 1,000, which is the magical number for any running backs. It's his job to milk this clock and get a couple of first downs. Let's see if the head coach of this Vikings team, Bill Marshall, can pull out all the stops. He's got 3 receivers stacked to his right side, 1 to the left. Berta is on the right hip. Beagley is out here, the tight end, and they're going to give it to Berta. Berta going up the gut, not making anything fancy there, and a tackle being made by George Branch, who was called for a neutral zone infraction early on in the game, and that is 3 yards for Valpo.
So that's kind of what they were holding him to in the first half of this game. Just a couple of, pick up 2 to 3 yards. So if you can stop him here and not let him get that first down, that's what Valpo is going to be trying to do here, is get that first down to keep that clock moving.
Valpo trying to get to 3 and 1. Michigan City in danger of going to 1 and 3. But Begley in motion, flags flying in, Hosek rolling, Hosek throwing, ball knocked out on the ground. Is that a fumble? But it goes out of bounds. So it was a fumble, but it goes out. So the ball would be spotted when it went out of bounds, but we have a checkup on that flag that's out there by the 21.
Well, Michigan City's got to be hoping that they can push that ball back as far as possible and make it impossible to make the third down play and then play that field position game with a punt and hope that it takes a nice Michigan City roll.
Well, it's an illegal shift. And from what I remember, if the ball goes out of bounds on a fumble, it stops the clock, right? So that's also huge.
But Michigan City looks like they want to decline this.
I would say, because it'd be third down and still forever because the ball rolled out. They're marking it off just behind the 12-yard line.
So that's something else to think about. Something else to think about is after this game, Lengo's Pizza has been a favorite since 1979, serving Northwest Indiana from 3 locations, Highland, Cherryville, and Crown Point. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Order online at lengospizza.com. Lengo's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network.
Well, Cody French, the head coach of Michigan City, talking to the referees, and yes, they're going to decline it. For me, it's a really good move because how many yards did they lose on that? It was 3rd and 7, or 2nd and 7, my apologies, and now it's 3rd and forever. They were at their own 22, so they lost about 10 yards there, so it's 3rd and 17.
Yeah, I would absolutely say this is going to be a win for Michigan City here on this particular play. So 3rd down now and making them go a country mile. They got to get to the 29-yard line with the ball on the 12-yard line here.
Branch jumped, but he didn't go past the neutral zone, and they're going to throw the ball. Hosek pulls it back down, well to his right. He gets hit, and the ball's on the ground. 4th down. That was a bold choice by Bill Marshall to let Hosek throw the ball there. And luckily for Michigan City, they say, hey, you know what? Most of the time we're going to celebrate getting a sack. We'll gladly take the incomplete pass. Only 3 seconds ran off the clock. It's 4:09. And this could give Michigan City good field position, but we've said that a few times.
Right.
But Valpo's kicked over here, but some good bounces has allowed Valpo to flip the field.
I'll tell you what, Sincere Hodges was coming in, barreling down on Hosek on that play, which I think you eventually could hear those footsteps behind him and probably made him rush that throw a little bit.
I'll tell you what, on that hit, he wasn't very sincere.
No.
There's the punt as it falls down at around the 40. Takes another good Valpo bounce. They have perfected that roll. A couple of really good kicks today as that was booted from the end zone, and it's marked down. We'll say that's the 49-yard line, right in the heart of the football field, on top of the interlocking MC to represent Michigan City. We're at Ames Field, Adrian Mild with Michael Bradner. An exciting start to the game, but it's been all Vikings since then. They have scored 13 unanswered points with under 4 minutes to go. The Michigan City Wolves try and score 2 touchdowns, and quick ones at that. 2 receivers will go to the right, a couple of tight ends to the left, and then in the pistol formation. Roll out, Hart, gonna throw on the move, going deep, it's completed, going down the sidelines, touchdown, Michigan, no!
Did he step out of bounds?
I think they said he stepped out of bounds. They did!
At the 20-yard line. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, you wanted the touchdown quickly, but you're at the 20-yard line. That's a big completion to start things up. Let's not get too too worried about, okay, we missed the touchdown. Stepped out of bounds. He probably knew it. He was just trying to hope that he could get, steal it and get away with it.
Yeah, that was Zaire McKinney.
I told you, though, it was Rick Parker on that far sideline, one of the best in the business. Been around for a long time. Great individual.
Zaire McKinney making the catch. Thought he had a touchdown, but they said he stepped out at the 20. The good news is the clock does stop at 3:49. They're going to roll out to the left. Hart tries to square up his shoulders. So running. Got to tuck the ball. Gets across the 20, and he goes out of bounds. Tackle was made by Brendan Gagin, the senior. Leads this team in tackles with 22. He adds yet another one to to his already impressive line score this season.
A couple weeks ago when I had them against Andrean, we were calling Brendan Gagan's name a ton, and you're seeing why. He is an effective senior out there doing a lot of really good for that Valpo defense.
Let's see if they have Trin Hart roll to his right again. They've been having him go to the wide side of the field. The ball is on the left hash mark. You have McKinney over here. He's been the favorite target. Here comes the blitz. Hart runs, and he had a lane, but before he could go anywhere, he was wrapped up.
Caleb Sharp in there on that tackle. Again, we've mentioned Sharp's name a couple of times, playing left tackle, and is number 2 on the defensive tackle depth chart there. So he's doing a phenomenal job out there, and it's not easy to play both sides of the ball.
You gotta be a little nervous if you're Michigan City right here, with him getting tackled after about a minimal gain, maybe 2 there. It's still a long play. It was 3rd and 10 for Michigan City. Receiver in motion. They're going to go for the end zone. McKinney can't make the catch. Tice Morse making yet another great play, and it is 4th and 10, just outside of the red zone.
What coverage out there on this, near side of the field, near side end zone. That is phenomenal coverage, just keeping right with him, turning that head, making sure that ball doesn't end up in the hands of the receiver. And now you've got a 4th down stop to try to make here if you're Valpo.
They're going to allow the pistol again with McKinney going into the slot. Kyron Hart is to his right. This is Trin Hart. Trin Hart trying to find someone. Clock's running out of time. Ball's up in the air. Ball is on the ground. And at this point, it doesn't matter. Even if Michigan City recovers it, it's a turnover on downs.
Michigan City ball.
And Valpo with a turnover on downs. With 2:45 to go, Michigan City does have a couple of timeouts where they could stop the clock. But I think that Valpo is just going to hand it off the rest of the way.
I tell you what, this has really been a good defensive game both ways. When Valpo has been in scoring positions, it's been the Michigan City defense that has stood up. You've got 2 field goals in this game, and yes, a couple of touchdowns for Valpo, but when it has mattered the most for Michigan City to get stops of Valpo, the defense has stood up. And when Valpo has needed to step up defensively, they have answered the bell.
Well, according to my math, that's only 13 points allowed in the last 10 quarters. Gave up no points in the second half against Andrean. Gave up just 7 points, and that was in the 4th quarter against LaPorte. Gave up 6 points to open up this game, but none ever since. And it looks like we might have a timeout for Michigan City. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout with them. And it's 20-6. Valpo on the doorsteps of getting their 3rd win in a row.
Other than players, coach.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
We are back. Andrew Mild, Michael Bradner, happy to join us on this Friday as we're under the lights. Hosek's going to get a chance to run the ball. He's going to his left. He stopped it. He's going to fall over. I'm thinking somewhere in the halftime locker room, Bill Marshall said, hey, sliding is okay. You play baseball. You know how to do it. Don't need you continuously getting tackled with the body weight from the Michigan City defenders. One more timeout used up by Michigan City. That is their last. But don't forget, fans, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crown Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crown Companies are the insurance superheroes. We have the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And then we have the play of the game, which is sponsored by the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
And we're happy to sponsor that award.
We have a couple of plays that we could pick from, which is always a good thing.
Certainly.
But
I've got the candidates in my head. I have one written down at the moment. We'll see if some heroics happen here. But I have one that I really like as a candidate. Well, stay tuned though. You can't reveal the awards too early.
Well, we want them to stick around.
Exactly.
If we give them too early, they're not going to stick around. It's like
it might be the player you're rooting for.
Right.
You never know.
Well, you could be getting it's like getting your presents on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas.
That's so crazy that we're working together the first game. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like waiting for. I was thinking presents on the holidays.
Well, because every time we get to call a football game, it's like being on a holiday.
Absolutely. Friday nights are special around this
It's
part.
special in the region. Now the shotgun. Hosek is going to keep it himself. Adrian Holly coming from the right side to toss him down to the turf. That's fourth down. But here's the dilemma for Michigan City. They have no timeouts to stop the clock. About 30 seconds to go with 2:11. So the ball will be punted around 1:40, but it's still going to run some clock off. And there's no 2-minute warning in high school football, for those who are wondering. There wasn't even some in college until recently.
Right, it's coming back here soon. And make sure you go after we give our awards. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll have the Region Football wrap-up show back at the Centeer Bank Studio. Our esteemed sports director, Mike Dewan, is going to be doing the Region Football wrap-up show. We've been having a good time here. Josh Reagan working the camera today. Joey Heinrich doing camera work. And, Josh Reagan doing the production and camera work. He's a man of many talents over here.
MVP. Well, it looks like Valpo is going to burn one of their timeouts. They have one more to go with 1:42. And for these two teams, the result will be in DAC action as Michigan City will have to take on a different team that usually is on a ship, that being the Maryville Pirates, and then the Valpo Vikings will be playing one of their bigger rivals, the Chesterton Trojans, back at home.
I tell you what, I get to cover so many of those basketball games, whether it be boys or girls basketball, baseball. That is such a fun rivalry as a broadcaster, be able to do that Chesterton-Valpo rivalry. It may not be fun as a fan or as a player to go up against those guys, but as a broadcaster, I feel like we always have such good games between those two schools.
See, what I want, because I know Mike Dewan is listening, let's do Ennigenberg top 10 rivalries in the region.
Ooh.
See, that's a big one. I would like to see what their thoughts are over on the Region Sports Network, because I feel like Chesterton and Valpo should be on that list. So close to one another. They've had some really historic teams, as that's maybe the first time that a punt hasn't gone in the direction for the Valpo Vikings. They off the nose and went back towards their side as it gets stopped at the 48. 1:31, no timeouts to work for. And let's see if Michigan City can pull off one of the greatest comebacks that we've seen in a long time here in the region. They need 14 points.
91 seconds.
Anything can happen in football. That's the fun part.
And then you get that quick score, and then you try for the onside kick.
For a moment there, we thought Michigan City had scored a touchdown with Zaire McKinney, but he stepped out of bounds. And if he would have stayed in bounds, we'd be talking pretty differently about how this game is shaping up. I mean, one of those should have, could have stayed in bounds and scored a touchdown. And
he's got to learn how to walk the tightrope like our friend Andrew Mild over here. He's good at walking the tightrope.
Throw to the outside. Harville with a nice juke move, putting the moves on the defender they got out there, Brody Wheeler, and a couple of Vikings where they clean up the mess. But here we go. You got to play with some urgency. You have about 76 seconds to go, and you're getting on the ball. No huddle right now for Michigan City as Trent Hart is yelling out to Kyron Hart on that far side. Hart is moving back in. Well, this is still moving in. It's trips formation. And the ball finally being snapped with a minute to go. Hart trying to wind up, going to his left. He found a hole. He's still going to his left, makes a move, trying to get out of bounds, but he's not going to make it as Tice Morris was there. And that's key. He knew where the boundary was and was able to get him down before he found the Michigan City sideline that's right in front of us. They're on the 40-yard line. It's 3rd and 2 and 34 seconds to go.
Down to 30 seconds here.
Player just getting off of the field. Hart going deep, perfect spiral, man wide open. Caught, is he into the end zone? Touchdown, Michigan City! Lawrence reels it in, making the adjustment. Finding his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan City. They're not done yet.
They're blowing confetti here at Michigan City in the stands.
I want to blow confetti. How come I didn't get one?
I'm still waiting for for them to toss shirts at, some places will toss shirts. You don't ever look in the direction of the press box.
Yeah,
you talk about that quick score. So you got 22.5 seconds left here. Crazy, like you said, crazy things have happened. And you do you think about going for the 2 or just the extra point here?
Well, that's Trent Hart. That's not a kicker.
Yeah, you're looking for the 2-point conversion.
Well, that makes things really interesting because it'd be a 20-14 game if they get it. If they don't, then they have to go for 2, even if they get the ball back and score. Here's a T formation perfected by Papa Bear House. A fake. Trent Hart. He's in a foot race. Finds a man wide open. 2 points up on the board. Logan Marion. Beautiful design there. He waited, didn't rush, popped his way back out. Trent Hart put it right on the money. 20-14 game. Here comes the onside kick for Michigan City.
Yeah, that kick team is already out there. They're ready. They're like, here, let's go. So with 22.5 seconds, let's keep it here on the Region Sports Network. We were just talking about, having some ideas as what our award winners might be. Well, Michigan City said, well, hold on, Mr. Bradner. We might have some heroics here. We might want to change your plans up a little bit. That's why I wrote it in pencil.
Yes, because you have to be able to erase it and move on like it never happened.
That's what I was, I wanted Michigan City to make it hard on us. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it comes down to this play in essence. If it doesn't go Michigan City's way, basically over at that point. But what a fight out of this Michigan City team. I mean, this has been absolutely incredible. They could have been, that first half wasn't looking, they're just kind of sputtering their wheels a little bit. They could have just given up at that point, but they said no. And they've been Heartbreak City down at the other end, that interception late in the third quarter, which it looked like they were driving to go, and they still stay with it, and they said, no, we're going to get a touchdown here. And now, if they can get this onside kick in a position to win the game.
We got 10 Valpo Vikings lined up on the 50 and the 45. Only one return man back. It's going to be up to the foot of Logan Marion to get Michigan City this ball back. This is a huge play in this contest. If Valpo gets it, this game is over. They win the game. So there's no timeouts. Here it is, Marion kicking it right to McKenzie. Ball on the ground. A scramble forward. Who has it? Michigan City says they do. Valpo says they do. We haven't seen a sign yet. Waiting for it as they get to the bottom of the dog pile, and it's Valpo ball. And that's why you had 10 players lined up between the 50 and the 45, because once it bounced off of McKenzie's chest, you had maybe 4 or 5 Vikings right there to recover the ball before the Michigan City Wolves could get there. But that's going to do it. The Valpo Vikings are going to escape Ames Field with a win and improve to 3-1 and 2-0 in conference play. The number 4 team, ranked by the Region Sports Network in the Ennigenberg Top 10, is going to hold on. The time of possession in that second half was all Michigan City.
Yes.
But you hit the nail right on the head, Mike. Turnover on downs on 4th and 2, didn't get it. Jacob Moore, the ball hawk, with his 4th interception on the year, his 2nd of the game on the 2nd drive. If those drives go an opposite way, we're talking about a new ball game, and Michigan City would probably walk away with their first regular season win in 10 years against Valpo.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's so impressive. There's a reason why Valparaiso is ranked number 2 in Class 5A around the state, ahead of Maryville, and we have them. That's the crazy thing. We have them 4th, as you said, in our top 10, which is crazy to think about. that we still have other region teams that can surpass them in that sense as well. What a ball game. I mean, Michigan City put up such a fight in this game. I'm so proud of those young men. They could have caved in at a lot of points and just said, you know what, this looks like it's going to be a win for Valpo. And you know what, in Valpo, they're going to tell you that they had a little left on the table they wish they could have had as well. It wasn't as clean of a ball game as I'm sure Coach Marshall will tell you that he would have liked in this one. He's going to be happy with the win. But you saw a lot of good things from both sides in this one. It's going to be so much fun to watch. Class 5A has got two teams here to keep your eye on as we get further and further and closer towards sectionals.
And I'll tell you what, late there in the game, we really felt like we were already in November playing some postseason football. It was a really good game here in the Doolin Athletic Conference, as the final score here was the Valpo Vikings 20 and the Michigan City Wolves 14. We're going to send it to the post-game show after we take a quick break. We get some scores from around the region, and we'll tell you about our Lantern Man superhero of the game, our blue-collar player of the game, and the play of the game. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back after this short break.
On the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
He's glorious.
And now on the road you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade.
For the post-game show, Valpo winning a close one, 20-14. Meyer with Michael Bradner, and what a fun game it was. But we have some awards to hand out. The first one is the Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crown Company's proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. Mike, who do you got?
I'm going to go with all of the 5'6", 160-pound frame of the senior Austin McKenzie, having himself quite a game in this one today. Got to have a touchdown to kind of open things up and had a lot of really good passes there, especially in that first half, and then just having a really feel like a breakout game here for this season in this one. Coach Marshall had some high praise for him earlier in the week, talking about him, so it was good to see him find that grass that Coach was talking about and get into the end zone for a touchdown.
Next up is the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org.
I'm going to go with Jamarian G of Michigan City. He had a stellar game today. Once he kind of got those feet working in that second half, the first half, the run game wasn't really working out. Really, nothing was working out for Michigan City offensively. So he got those feet moving in that second half, and him and Hart were a good combo. But I'm going to go with G, kind of making that motor running, and as you said, kind of turn it into a cannonball through the ship of the Viking defense.
Yeah, he had himself a really impressive game. Was really happy to see him continue to get the ball and build off of the impressive performance he had last week. We ran for 112 yards. One more to hand out, and that is the Region Sports Network play of the game.
there's a lot to pick from. We had a lot of good touchdowns in this one. The first half was electric. The first few minutes of the first quarter were electric as well. I'm going to go with the Jacob Moore interception late in that third quarter, though, because I felt like that was the big momentum shift, because it felt like Michigan City was methodically driving down the field. They were in a great position to score, make this a one-score game, and then the tide just shifted right there as Jacob Moore picked up his second interception of the game and just kind of took the sails out of Michigan City and left them in a position where they didn't have a whole lot of time to try to score. They did score again late in this game, but it wasn't enough. So I thought the Jacob Moore INT late in that third quarter was a solid play of the game.
Well, don't forget to follow all of tonight's Region Football Scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, streaming on youtube.com/Region Sports, facebook.com/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. A couple of thank yous to give out. Yeah, I might have to go there after the game. First off, to our producer Josh Reagan and camera Joey Heinrich. And then the coaches, Bill Marshall and Cody French, which I know you had to talk to them. They seem like they're great individuals, great coaches, and you could see it tonight as we saw no personal foul penalties. Both sides very well coached. That's why we got ourselves a good football game. The ADs for Valpo, Stacey Adams, and for Michigan City, Mohamed Marua. My apologies. Management Executive Producer Chris Ramirez, Operations Manager Rich Castillo, Coordinating Producer Zach Miller, and Sports Director Mike Dewan, and of course all the viewers on Facebook.com/Region Sports, YouTube.com/Region Sports, RegionSports.com, and IHSAATV.org. For my partner Michael Brander, I've been Andrew Mild, and we'll see you next week here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Good night, everyone.